Ask Me Anything Wednesdays. Welcome aboard to another episode of Ask Me Anything Wednesdays. I love Wednesdays because I get so many preguntas in my Facebook inbox. And I love it because Wednesdays I get to choose who I'm going to respond to, what question I think maybe needs the most attention. And I just get to have an intimate conversation between you and me. I love that. Totally love that. So, today's conversation came in from, we're not going to say the name, they want to stay super confidential. So, ahí te va la pregunta. Why do women, RaqC, like to talk but refuse to let a man talk? That's a good one. In other words, what is appealing about a strong, silent type? That's funny. Why do women like to talk but refuse to let a man talk? In other words, why do some women have a listening problem, right? Well, pues ahí te va la respuesta. Here goes your answer. First of all, this is a big problem, ladies. Why do women talk but refuse to let a man talk? And this happens in a lot of relationships where una mujer, sometimes us women, we don't think we're wrong. And it's funny, if you ever ask a man that's in a long marriage, a man will tell you, honey, early on in life I learned that the only way to make a woman happy is to make sure that she is right all the time. And I don't know if that's necessarily, well, I've never been in a super long-term relationship like 30 plus years, so I don't know. Maybe that is the key. Pero I just feel like there are times, women, ladies that are watching this, that we just gotta let our men talk. Because there's gonna be more and more men that are writing emails to radio personalities or public figures like me that get messages like, RaqC, how can I get my woman to STFU, to shut the up and listen to me? She refused to listen. She refuses to listen to me. You know, there's a saying that says, what do you prefer to be? Happy or right? And a lot of times, fellas, us women, we don't think we're wrong, right? I mean, we think we have all the reason in the world, all the logic in the world, all the excuses in the world. And, you know, this is a scenario that goes both ways, but I know a lot of men probably encounter this problem a little bit more. Like, man, estoy en una relación where, like, my girl doesn't let me get a word in. And women, that is not always good. That is not always good, my friends. It's not. Because if you're not willing to listen to your man, if you're not allowing him to get words in or communicate or express himself the way he's trying to express himself to you, you might lose the message. He might be like, you know what, my woman doesn't listen to me, so I'm going to go talk to Fulanita that's making herself available to me. And guess what? That could potentially lead to your man falling in love with somebody new, and vice versa. Fellas, if you're not there for your woman too, and somebody else is, that could potentially lead to her falling in love and, I don't know, potential infidelity in your relationship, in your marriage. But it goes both ways. This is an issue of being aware. When you're in a relationship, or even when you're not in a relationship, even when you're just having a quality conversation with somebody, be aware and listen. It's a problem. Nowadays, people hear what they want to hear. They don't listen. They draw conclusions. They hear what they want to hear. People interpret things the way they want to interpret things. You can say one thing one way, and there can be a person in the room that interprets it a complete different way. And yeah, you're not always going to make people happy. But if you're in a relationship and you're dealing with somebody one-on-one every day, and they're still writing to me like this, saying, man, how can I get a woman to allow me to talk? So ladies and gentlemen that are watching this video, I encourage you today to challenge yourself to become a better listener. I challenge you today to not have thoughts, not have criticisms, not have judgments on people, especially your pareja, when they're talking to you, sharing something with you. Just listen with a neutral mind. Because you already know when you don't listen, it could lead to potential other problems. And you don't want to avoid that. So just like you were engaged in this conversation and you were like, man, it felt like RaqC was talking to me. She's in my face. And you were here. You were present. Do the same thing in your own relationships. And watch them work. Ladies, we're not always right. Remember that question when all you want to do is interrupt. Do you want to be right? Do you want to be happy? I'd rather be happy.